Hey everyone, this is Drew again with another Carowinds review. With the season being over for the 2019 year, and with the new year starting, it's about time to go over the 2019 season. Carowinds had a pretty big year, but what has improved and what has dipped in quality? Let's start with the headline coaster of 2019. For the 2019 season, Carowinds graced us with Copperhead Strike, adding to the list of amazing coasters. This is a fantastic addition and has grown to be my second favorite coaster at the park. The only downside to the ride are the lines, which can get pretty ridiculous. Copperhead Strike is a unique addition to the park, being the only launch coaster. Hopefully more launch coasters will be added in the future, because if we can get a faster, larger launch coaster, Fury might have to watch its back for best coaster at the park. It shows how much faith Cedar Fair has in Carowinds to be the next big park. And with Charlotte's growth being at an incredible rate, I very well could see Carowinds one day being the highest profiting Cedar Fair park. If you haven't gotten a chance to ride Copperhead Strike, what are you waiting for? This year, we lost Dinosaurs Alive. I really did like this, as it was an escape from the crowds during busier times, and I really like dinosaurs. Seeing as they were going to remove the attraction, it actually got me to start making the Carowinds videos, because I wanted to document major changes at the park, and to have footage of attractions the public would no longer be able to experience. I'm excited to see what they do with the land, as it did cover a large part of the park, so who knows? Maybe it'll become another coaster in a few years. This was my first year using a dining plan, and I went to each restaurant and tried as many different items as I could. I'll be releasing a full review of Carowinds food at a later date, but overall, I was impressed with the quality of the food at Carowinds. Some items and one specific restaurant were incredibly disappointing, but overall, the food is good quality. The price is always going to be high, as it is a theme park, but if you go as much as I do, the price per meal gets to a ridiculously low level. I ended the year paying around $2.90 per meal. I got the dining plan again in 2020, so if there are any changes, I'll get to that too. I also got the drink plan, which is also worth it as long as you go and get about 6 or more drinks. I ended the year paying about 60 cents per soda, which is pretty good. Crowds were much worse from my experience in 2019. In 2018, the majority of days I went were low to medium crowds. This year, crowds overall seemed higher. The spring crowds were great, with no one being at the park until around spring break and onward into the summer. Crowds died down drastically in September until Carowinds. The attendance at Carowinds in 2018 was bad, but the mazes took away a lot of the crowds due to their waits. This year, it was mostly reversed, with the rides having crazy wait times and the mazes overall being about 30 minutes each. Winterfest in 2018 was pretty dead, most days, and everything was a walk-on after the first week. This year, every day I went to Winterfest had at least a decent crowd, with some days even feeling like Carowinds attendance levels. At least they added more parking near the front of the park, but the new traffic patterns feel bad. Carowinds did great with events this year. We got 3 major events this year, including Carowinds, the Peanut Festival, and Winterfest. All 3 were fantastic and really add to the holiday feel each are going for. Carowinds is always just the best, but crowds seem to be getting worse and worse each year. This takes away from the enjoyment for me, but the actors, the theming, and the mazes are more than making up for it. If you only got to choose one event, I cannot recommend Carowinds enough. Go for the experience of walking around alone. The Peanuts Festival was new this year. While I loved it, the attendance was incredibly poor. Several days were closed due to such low attendance, and every ride was a walk-on. I'm not completely sure why more people weren't going, but if you wanted to ride a coaster, this was the time. I'm worried they won't bring it back for the 2020 season, but hopefully they do, as November is still a fun time to ride coasters in the South. Winterfest was more of the same as 2018. The lights are always looking great, and with the price being low for entry, it's the time to just enjoy the atmosphere. Ride-wise, with Copperhead Strike being the second coaster open during Winterfest, it really brings out the crowds. The Christmas parade was well done, and it transitions into a regular parade for the 2020 season. Hopefully it'll hold up to the same standard. Well, it looks like it's going to be a lull year for Carowinds after building such a major coaster. The only major ride announcements are water park rides and the parade being active during regular season. Everything that is already great will hopefully stay the same way, and I'd like to see Carowinds hopefully have a few surprises for us for 2020. But regardless, here's to another great year. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And truly, thank you for watching.